G'day guys, welcome back to Homestead on the Rock. This is a YouTube channel about a family that's starting a homestead, but they haven't got a home. So we have to find a home, and then once we've got it, it'll be like a real homesteading channel. Anyway, until then, this is just a channel about a family trying to find a home instead. So, we're going to the tiny home show, and we vlogged the whole thing. Samantha, Cora and I went to Mornington Peninsula, we looked at all the tiny homes, and that's what this episode is going to be about. If you don't want to watch the vlog and you don't want to see all the tiny homes, skip to the last 3 minutes with all the juicy information. Because at the very end of this video, I'm going to tell you what we thought about the tiny home show, what we think about tiny homes, and why we're not getting a tiny home. Play the vlog. This is Careless Family going to the tiny home show. Slowly fade out, music starts, Homestead on the Rock.
Brushing your hair this morning. Show me how you brush your hair. Oh, look at the sunrise. It's beautiful. Alright, now hopefully you go back to sleep because we've got 2 hours. So, good morning. We're on our way to the tiny home show. We had to wake up early this morning because it was a 2-hour drive. It's in Mornington Peninsula. I am excited because realistically the next step we want to do in our lives is build a house. For our budget and price range, this is probably the closest thing that we're going to get.
We want a home, and we know that we can't afford a big home.
Yeah.
So we need a tiny home.
So I am excited because these are our options. We're literally going to go see the options we have. So
Yeah.
What
are you hoping to get out of today? What do you want to achieve?
I'm hoping there's at least 1 or 2 builders that are happy to work with us. And what I mean by that, obviously, as we know, tiny homes are trailers essentially. So we need to find a builder that is going to turn this trailer home into a portable dwelling or a transportable home. So we want to find at least 1 or 2 builders that are happy to work with us on this, I guess, because it's not that common.
I'm hoping at worst today, maybe we just get learn a little bit. We get some good ideas, learn how to utilize small spaces, good ideas for the kitchen and the bathroom setups and designs. But then obviously at best, we're hoping that there's a company here that says, hey, we can do something with your budget.
Gets on board with us.
Yeah, they don't just laugh at our budget and they go, yeah, no, that's actually possible. We've done it before. We're going to help you achieve your dreams. So
the goal is that we don't get brushed off by every single builder. At least 1 or 2 wants to work with us. That would be good.
realistically, how much are we willing to spend on a tiny home?
Truth is 100.
100 grand. That's like the max we can spend. There's a lot of other expenses that go into building, so we need to find a tiny little portable house that's 100 grand. So, and do you think that that's going to be possible?
Yes, I do think it's possible.
It will be possible.
But we might get laughed at a lot and a lot of no's.
Yeah, and it might be very small.
Yeah, but I do think it's possible.
We'll see how we go. But I actually don't mind that low ceiling. I'm pretty tall, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. So if that saves us a bit of money.
This is much bigger, isn't it?
This is much nicer.
More?
More? No, it's a bed. It's got a bed. It's actually a nice bathroom as well. Yeah, everything in this home is much bigger. I don't really like that's wobbly.
Probably not. It's just quite big.
Don't get me wrong, it's big and it's nice. Yeah, if it was like an Airbnb stay, I think it would be amazing. It's perfect. It would be super fun and cute, but as a home, it's definitely on the limits.
Yeah. This is pretty. Okay. Next. I really like the colour. It's like with going colours, is it risky? Is it going to get outdated, you know? But I like it.
I like it too.
It looks really nice. Yeah. I can see myself in this kitchen.
It's nice, but it's like still like an Airbnb, like at best.
So you get it through as a green flat.
It's already so much wider.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, but it does just feel too small, doesn't it? I mean, these. There you go.
So something we just learned while talking to one of the builders here is that apparently in Victoria you do not need to have a septic system. You can get approval with a composting toilet in your home, which is like big news because the septic system was going to cost us 17 grand. So
Yeah.
if we can confirm this, there's some other guys we can speak to apparently. This is like exciting.
Yeah, that's what we came. We came here to learn, and we've already learned something that's hopefully going to save us like 15 grand. You've still got to have a waste management system, but you don't have to put in a big $17,000 compost. So, $17,000 septic. There is cheaper options.
Good job, Colour. It's hard work. Okay, so tell us your thoughts, Tom, so far.
So far, very expensive, very flashy.
They all feel very premium, like you can see where the dollars are adding up kind of things. They're all like wood features, brackets.
To be honest, if I was going to spend 150 grand, I would rather get another caravan than get some of these almost. Like, it's at least a caravan you can drive around Australia and travel with it, whereas these you wouldn't really travel with them.
And it's not even 150, most of them we're saying are like 180, 185.
$150,000 caravan is like primo, and you can take it all the way around Australia, whereas these is like part one, so we'll see.
That's so far.
What do you reckon, mate?
It's the one that it looks a lot more housey, not like our caravan composting toilet. That one looks like it belongs in the boat, whereas this one actually looks a bit more.
Because you're adding the necessary.
How you going, mate? Okay, so we've just finished looking at like all the tiny homes, which is essentially the caravans on trailers.
We didn't actually realise that there was transportable homes which
So-
suit our criteria
Yeah,
much
so
more.
now we're going to the transportable home section, which is more we're after, so hopefully we find what we need. We have looked at every single cabin and spoke to pretty much everyone.
Yeah. We pretty much like narrowed down to probably 3 builders that we would actually be interested in going further with, but no one under 100k.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
There is no budget option. Well, sorry.
No, there
What
is.
we want is less than budget option. There are some real budget options here, but I mean,
I guess the thing we wanted was 2 bedroom, so if you're wanting under that 100 mark, you're only really going to get the studio living type, which is 1 bedroom. So
and mind you, like that's 149 for the tiny home. That doesn't include the installing of it, the stumps, connecting to water, connecting to power, putting in a septic system. So all of these options are looking at least 200 grand.
which is kind of what we expected for the total inclusion. But that's why we're trying to get the price of the home for 100, so it ends up closer to that 150.
Yeah, by the time we've added in all that stuff.
But anyway, we've still got some more ideas we'll try.
Welcome back. If you guys watched the whole vlog, thank you. I'm proud of you. Well done. Appreciate the support. If you fast forwarded and you just come for this last 3 minutes and the last juicy information, guess what? I'm still proud of you. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. So I told you I'd give you our opinion. Okay, so first up, what did we think of the tiny home show? Okay, as you've seen, the tiny home show wasn't bad. There was a lot of caravans there, a lot of tiny homes there, a lot of companies there. It was a good educational experience because we've only really seen tiny homes online on the internet, and it's really hard to grasp the size of them and what they actually feel like. So I'm definitely glad we went. We got to have a real good feel. The show was put on pretty well. There was a good number of displays, and overall it was enjoyable. But unless you're looking to actually buy one, it's not really that fun. And they're really expensive. So yeah, it was a good show, but a little bit underwhelming, probably just because of the price tags. That just really is a bit of a buzzkill. Okay, number 2, what we think about tiny homes. Tiny homes are great. They're a great idea. They're very cute. They're designed amazingly. It's very functional for such a small space. You can live in them. Like this caravan, I can live in this caravan pretty easy. And tiny homes some of them are like two to three times the size of this almost. So tiny homes, you can live in them. They're great. They're super aesthetic. They look fantastic. Technically, you can move them. So if you live on a property somewhere on one and then you change your mind, you can just tow it somewhere else. That's pretty cool. So tiny homes do serve a purpose, like Airbnbs as well. If you have an Airbnb, you want to park one in your backyard and rent it out or something, fantastic. Tiny homes are very cool for that circumstance, but they're also very bad for certain things, and I'll explain that in reason number 3. So, reason number 3, why we are not getting a tiny home, and I'll try to keep this pretty short and sweet. It's not legal. That's the short answer, okay? You need to understand something. Tiny homes are basically caravans, okay? So this is a caravan. It's registered as a vehicle. You can tow it around Australia and live in it. That's fantastic. But you can't buy a block of land and then park a caravan on it and then say, hey, government, this is where I live now. They're going to say, that's not safe, that's not insured, that's not regulated. You can't live there. That's what a tiny home is. It's not a house. It's not a registered, certified primary dwelling that you can actually live in. So if you suit the criteria of you want a granny flat in the backyard, if you want to start an Airbnb, or you live in a rural area and you're not worried about the government finding you or anything like that, the council's dobbing on you, then tiny homes could be a great option for you. But for us, the reason we are not getting a tiny home is, firstly, because they're a caravan, they're a trailer, and you just can't actually register that and tell the government that's what I'm going to live in, and they're going to say yes. You can't do that. And I need a primary dwelling to live in on my block, and a tiny home doesn't count as that. There is a way of doing it, and that is you can buy a tiny home, and then you can take it to your property, take away the wheels, put it on stumps, and then it's like, hey, this is a house on stumps, it's not a caravan. You can do that, but you've still got to put in a septic tank, you've still got to put in stumps, you've still got to get engineering and drawing done for that house, and then you've got to get the council to sign off that engineering and that drawing is all certified to the council standards. So it's basically a big process. And additionally, tiny homes, like the ones that were even practical for living, were like minimum 150 grand. So that's pretty expensive for a really small space. So yeah, it's just not going to be practical for us. Bottom line, we're not getting a tiny home. One thing I have been thinking though is, if these companies are selling tiny homes for like 150 grand, even if they're profiting $50,000, that means that maybe their materials and cost, the build cost, is like 100 grand. Which makes me think, if that's all they could build for 100 grand, why do I think I can build something 3 times the size for 100 grand? Anyway, I'm ambitious. I'm going to try, because I'm not paying that much money for a tiny home and then living illegally. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Bottom line, not buying a tiny home, just have to build our own home. Not sure how we're going to afford it, but that's what the YouTube channel's about, how we make it work. So, thanks for watching. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.